Sadly, Mikey hasn't watched Thor, so we cannot jump into spoilers.
Sorry, I kind of told myself after Doctor Strange that I wasn't gonna watch premieres anymore. It was just too hectic, and it's just not for me.
What happened?
I don't know what was hectic about it, but
having to wake up so early, because I'm already waking up early for work anyways. So by the time that we got out of that movie, it was close to 12ish, maybe 1ish. And I didn't go to sleep until maybe 2:30, almost 3.
Oh damn!
And then having to wake up at 6, the day after really fucked me up real bad. So not doing it again.
Well, here can be our first mini topic. They're not even doing real premieres anymore. We saw Thor at 3:30 today, and that wasn't even the first showtime. 10 years ago, I think we already talked about this, Nekko. 10 years ago, the only way you could see a movie on Thursday night was if you went at midnight. They did one showtime at midnight, and if you didn't go, you had to wait until Friday. And then they started doing I'd say it was Marvel movies that started doing this around if you sneak in, you might catch an 11 p.m. or a 10:30, and then they just started doing I think when Age of Ultron came out, that's when 7 o'clock became the new standard. And then it became 6, and then it became 5, and now it's, I guess, 3 o'clock. Soon it's going to be Wednesday premiere at 12.
Oh, God. Then it's just going to be regular MMOs resetting every Tuesday.
No, we're gonna cycle all the way to the point where Friday is gonna be the day to see a movie again. 100 years, 100 years from now, Thursday at midnight's gonna be the way to watch a movie.
Hey, mate, it might just even be the moment the movie gets announced, you can already watch it.
Dude, yeah, that's true.
You pre-order it, it gets home, early access.
It's Thor 6, just announced today. Watch it tomorrow.
They do that, though. I don't know if you guys remember, but Cloverfield, the third movie, during the Super Bowl, dropped a trailer. And then they were watch it after the game on Netflix. And it was okay, wow. I've been waiting for this movie for 2 years. Thanks.
Hell, they didn't even release some theaters, though?
No, it was a Netflix movie. It might have been in one theater in every city.
Watch it be the new way to watch movies premiered. Everything's gonna be on a streaming service now.
It's definitely gonna happen at some point.
Streaming pay-per-view for the premiere, and then you can just go to the theater.
Well, see, that's the thing. It'll be where the streaming services are gonna get early access to the movie, and then the theaters are gonna get it on the technical the actual release date.
Everybody joins into a house if it was a boxing fight or whatever.
Just watch it. That's my prediction. Big brain prediction. That's what it's gonna be. Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. We're gonna see early access movies before even the premiere, and then the premiere is just the actual release date.
I could actually see something like that because they've already done I saw Shazam 2 weeks before it came out as an early access premiere, but movies are already being dropped. Doctor Strange is already on Disney Plus, and it's been on Disney Plus for half a month. Yeah. We just saw that movie.
What, two months ago?
Jeez. Yeah, I guess roughly, 2 months ago.
Yeah, you're right. It was roughly 2 months ago.
Sorry, I think it was a week or two before I got the whole COVID thing, and I landed the whole week dead. Damn.
Yeah,
so it's your fault, Mikey. It's your fault I was dying.
I lost my... Dude, we probably did catch our sicknesses at Doctor Strange because I lost my voice for a month. I can't,
It wasn't because of me. Here's the thing. I sent out the invite, but you have to accept it,
True.
You guys accepted it. You guys, that's the terms and conditions is you are putting yourself at risk.
Y'all ever played Division?
Said the guy that created the human centipede. You accepted the invitation. No, Division.
Yeah, because in Division, Tom Clancy. You're right. So apparently, the disease was transmitted by dollar bills and whatever. So Mikey's version is that he transmitted by the fucking tickets. Just gave it to
not even else. You guys never touched the tickets. I sent it to you through text.
All right, fuck, I forgot about that.
He's like, you can't talk shit. Anyways, there's at least 3 claps in my audio clip right now. So like, if you don't sync it by then, bro, like it's a lost cause.
Either way, movies coming in early and everything else of the sorts. I guess I can say welcome back, guys, to the Press A to Talk podcast. My name is Nekko. I'm with the fellas, Weebs, not the boys.
We are on the Switch free playing podcast, Press A to Talk.
Hell yeah.
Isn't that right?
Yeah,
Switch free.
It kind of you kind of got me there for a sec, but I was like, what? I didn't get the memo that we were switching our podcast name.
No, yeah, I was wondering for like 30 minutes why Nekko was looking down at his dick last podcast.
Oh. See, every so often I was just checking my phone for a particular reason, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I got an idea. It's like, just pulling out. Pull the fucking switch on it. But yeah, no, so, I mean, you heard the earlier conversation, and we were talking about the movies that are, like, now they're coming out, and then Mikey infected us with COVID, and that's why what was it? Is it, like, the rest of Volume 6, or is it the rest of Volume 5 where you were dying in Ruby?
Oh,
Jake?
Volume 5.
It was by the end of Volume 5 where, like, we had to Microsoft Sam Jake.
So that happened, and today it was just we visited Thor, although that Mikey wasn't able to go. So
yeah, no. After the last premiere that I went to, I'm not doing that again. I'll wait. I'll watch it on the weekend.
I'll be honest with
you guys.
You can wait for this one.
Yeah,
I think it's worth seeing, but it's like it's not rush out type of movie.
I'm surprised that that's the case because it was directed by the same guy that did Ragnarok, so I figured it had to be just as good, but I guess it's not.
I think all 3 of us had the consensus that Ragnarok was better when we walked out of the theater.
It just feels like he took a chance with Ragnarok and he paid off, and then he's like, let me put more on top of this, and it just didn't work out the same way. I read
an interview that said that he wanted to do a movie with a version of Thor that nobody wanted to see. I don't know how that makes any sense. I guess like he said that he did his thought process was, I wanted to make a movie about Thor in love, and nobody wants to see Thor in love. Thor being all lovey-dovey and shit. Like they want to see Thor being Thor.
Yeah, like the second Hulk smash type of character.
And so I don't know how to make of that. I haven't watched the movie, right? But I don't know what to make of that. Like I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I guess I can see that argument coming through in the movie, and honestly, if that aspect wasn't bad at all. Honestly,
I would say the best part of the movie was actually the romance, probably for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So by all means, I mean, try not to get any more spoilers in, and I know that you'll enjoy it, but it's a matter of like where do you put it in your tier list, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't think it will be anywhere near Endgame or Infinity War. I feel like those are like the peak Marvel.
I guess
movies.
I'll let you know because this will technically be the last Thor movie, right? Like after this, like Thor only gets an appearance in Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's it.
They kind of set up that it was going to keep going.
Yeah,
like the mid-credit scene kind of hinted that it was going to keep going.
Like with Chris Hemsworth's Thor, or is it just
I don't know.
Jane Thor,
The problem is there's been other movies that like, for example, like what was it? It's a Hulk. No. What was it though? Whenever they showed the Thor's hammer for the first time back
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2. So like there could be a possibility that the end credit scene just meant that it was something else or for another different movie or character. So there's a possibility that Thor is done with, but it's kind of inclining a little bit more on the Thor side, in my opinion. And I mean, Jake seems to be in the same page.
Yeah, like the actual end of the movie, like before the credits, was like kind of a wrap up, I felt like, on the story in a good way. Not like I'm not saying satisfactory way, but it just kind of felt like the end of a book. You know what I mean? But the mid-credit scene's like, oh, well, this could be really interesting if Thor goes in this direction. So it's kind of just like you got to see it. And I don't know. It's so weird because we were talking about it, and it kind of introduces something that we are not familiar with in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And
So that's gonna be interesting to see and hear other people talk about. Definitely.
Yeah. But that's, I mean, pretty much all I have to say about the movie.
Yeah.
Romance was good. Christian Bale was like, we were talking about. Christian Bale was good in the movie, but I just didn't like the character all that much. Especially when you like learn more about him in the comics. He has a few extra things that they didn't really add in that could have enriched the universe.
Yeah, they could definitely take advantage of a couple of things of the comic character, and they didn't take whatchamacallit. It's not advantage of it, but rather like there was a missed opportunity. There you go.
Yeah.
For future movies. But with that said, go ahead now. Go ahead.
Sad to hear. That's all I say.
But yeah, so the main topic that we were wanting to talk about, and it's something that who was it? Was it Moist or Asmongold who brought it up?
Had to have been Asmongold.
It was Asmongold because that's how I learned about it. He was the one that was reacting to the news.
Which is talking about reacting to the news is reaction channels getting demonetized, or not right now, but there's a talk about it, right? So there's and what our thoughts on it are. I think I got a pretty case shut type of thought on it, but what are your opinions on it before I do? Because I feel like if I mention my thing, it's kind of like almost putting a dead end in the conversation. So I don't want to do that just yet.
Because I wanted to
I
see if I can find that actual like the actual article that they were talking.
Okay, that's good because like the way it sounds is like if you react to any kind of content, boom, you're demonetized. But the problem with doing that is that there's a lot of different type of reaction content out there, and there's a lot of different content to react to.
Yeah.
So if you react to a naked video, that's different than you making transformative content. If you're reacting to an anime, if you're reacting to Ruby and it's uncut, your video's already demonetized anyway. And so I kind of want to know what it is, because the type of content that Asmongold reacts to is creative content on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that's kind of what I want to know. Is it just reacting to uncut stuff that other people would be making money on? Because our Ruby videos get demonetized. The reason for that is because our money, rightfully so, goes to Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
Because we cannot react to the whole thing and get money for it because we didn't make it.
Exactly. And there was barely any transformation to the actual video itself, but like, yeah, you can say that we do overlays, but the whole episode's in there. Like, if we're missing a second or two, that's just for our creative intake on it. Yeah, because and I do think so I think that the biggest problem with it is people as big as Asmongold, right? Who have, I don't know how many million people subscribe and how many million people watching their stuff, right? Those are the people that no matter who they react to, they're always gonna be intaking more views than anybody else because of the sheer amount of subscribers that they got. So if you're gonna tell me and argue that, you know, these many people, it's a wasted opportunity for me to get my money's worth because of the video that I created, the argument that we were having was that who's to say that those 3 million people were even gonna find your video in the first place?
Yeah, and I just think that my argument was, it's not that 3 million were going to find it, but there's no way that you could tell me that if reaction content was demonetized, the original creator wouldn't see an incline on revenue or views, because they absolutely would, because a lot less people, including I'm pretty sure Asmongold, would stop reacting to content, and in that making these actual creative people, I don't want to say actual creative people, but I'm going to be honest, like I love Asmongold, but I don't think he's a great content creator, because a lot of people making his content are just taking stuff from his VODs and putting it up on YouTube. Yeah. Hell, his reaction videos are already up on YouTube while he's still streaming. It's like they just cut the naked video out and put it up on YouTube. My grandma could do that, you know? And so that's not transformative in any kind of way. So like that's why I want to know, if what kind of the guidelines are on this demonetization of reaction channels, because I feel like you can't just demonetize any reaction content.
We'll see. I think that's where like it kind of like opens up, because like if let's say that YouTube does indeed start cracking down on these type of videos where it's like a copy paste, you know, somebody watching a video, I react to it, you know, type thing, and then just post it back on YouTube. Like, that's only just the beginning, right? Like, you can start cracking down on those, but then it can kind of like bleed over to pretty much anything else, because if the argument is that people are watching reactions for the sake of watching the content but not the reaction itself, then it can kind of bleed up to pretty much anything. Like, it can bleed onto us reacting to anime. It can bleed onto you know, you could also say that it could also bleed onto let's players and playing games, you know. That's kind of like the big issue, because like if it can open up a floodgate if they're not being careful.
I think it could, but that's like a big if, because I think Ruby is a really good example. We can make money on Ruby videos if we wanted to. We just got to cut the video. We just got to make it transformative, you know? And so that's where I kind of see the argument of these smaller creators that are making, you know, putting 20 to 30 hours into a video just for Asmongold to react to it and he gets 1 million views on it, whereas maybe the creator could have gotten a little more attention on the video. I don't know. Like, obviously none of us think that there would be a huge spike on this video if Asmongold didn't react to X video. But the thing is, now we're looking at, okay, you have, like, for this to go through, you would basically have to copyright creative videos, to where if Asmongold reacts to this video uncut, like the naked video, just all together, that money would have to transfer over to the original creator.
Right.
Which I think in doing that, that's where it gets a little fucky. And that's where it's so gray, is because, like, how far does that go? And that's why, like, I'm still glad that we have fair use, because even though it's not, like, fair use isn't exactly like a law, it's just like a suggestion. I don't know. Nobody something really actually, but I think it's good enough to kind of dictate what is transformative, like protect, and what is transformative and what is not. So, like, I will say, because Japan doesn't have fair use, that's why anime, like, we get hit a lot on certain videos, and it's like, why the fuck did we get hit? We put 10 minutes of a 20-minute anime in our video. But they don't have that, and I think that's why we see a lot of creators like Totally Not Mark, who doesn't even put audio in his fucking videos.
Didn't he get his whole channel taken down for that?
Well, no, he got 150 videos taken down.
That is anything and everything relating to
Toei, which he reviewed every single arc in Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball GT, One Piece. That's like 80% of his content, and that was like 30, 40, I mean, well, it was 150 videos, but how many hours of content? I have no idea.
It's ridiculous
at that point. I don't know. I think, truthfully, however this situation kind of goes, because I wasn't able to find like the actual article itself.
I was looking for it too. I couldn't find it either.
But it's an interesting conversation to talk about, actually, regardless of whether this is something that is still being internally talked, or this was just an old topic or anything like that, because it affects us, you know. It affects us greatly, you know, because like again, like, it could be like if they can crack down on that, then they you know, it could bleed into something else, whether it was intentional or not, and then it could potentially hurt us, and then we would have to figure out what else to do.
I mean, granted, like the good thing is that the Weebs Closet was never just meant to be fully reactions. So that's kind of where I'm glad at. Reactions is just the easiest way to start and kind of get their following, right? But and plus, me personally, I enjoy reaction channels, and I enjoy like seeing people's thoughts and whatnot, and hence why I wanted to throw my 2 cents out there, and got you guys included. But the thing is, like, I mean, we even fucking joked around of actually making clothing lines, just on the Weebs Closet and whatever. So that will be cool to eventually make.
I mean, that idea is still on the table. I used to say that it isn't. I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like eventually it will build up to that thing, right? But then in between, we still got ideas for playthroughs, gameplay, like other type of gameplays, or versus nights, right? Where we're playing games of like I don't know, Scribblio or stuff like that, and we just make sure that.
I actually had a really good idea like 2 days ago at work. I was thinking like, one day, like when we have a bit more of a following, we should do like a little contest within the Weebs Closet between like us and maybe a few others, and see who can basically write the most compelling like shonen jump, like simple shonen jump, and have like viewers vote on it. Like
a little pilot.
Dude, that's like that sounds so very similar to this one board game that me, Nekko,
Mangaka.
Oh Kevin, yeah, I remember
Kevin
you guys talking about that.
Where we were literally like, we have like these little cards that give us the theme, the genre, and all that shit, and we had to basically like, we had to essentially
draw like
an entirely new, like an entirely manga, like a whole new storyline with all those cards. And every round we would have to draw more panels, and then we also had to add more things to it.
Yeah, like you would draw a card, and the card would throw your whole thing into a loop, because it would, like, let's say in mine it was my whole comic was about military guns and whatever. I'm like, okay, like cool, I'll just make some BS about it, and then all of a sudden it throw in the thing or the card said samurai. I was like, I made my shit in World War II. What the fuck do I do with a samurai? Yeah. So I had to add a samurai in there and whatever. And then for some reason I had the waterless watermelon added in there. Yeah. Which I had no idea. Like, that was a thing. Why did I end up having that shit? Because that's something that you and Meryl. That's an inside joke between you and Meryl. I forgot how I added it in there.
Yeah, because we mentioned it to you and you decided to add it in there just for kicks, honestly.
I think the waterless watermelons were some sort of grenade or something like that I had in there. Because technically that would waterless watermelon would be just seeds in there, so it would be like a frag grenade.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But that sounds cool. Like, I was like also thinking that it'd be kind of cool that if we ever do a kind of like a community event with the rest of the weebs, like we could do like a Fall Guys tournament, since Fall Guys is technically free to play now and it's also crossplay. So that'd be dope as fuck to do.
Can you make a server in there though? Or like
you can host a room, and then it would have like a little code.
Okay, yeah.
And then people can jump in. Yeah.
Kind of like Among Us.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Fall Guys is finally coming back. That was like that was a game. I love that game, dude.
Dude, I don't know. I have mixed reactions to it.
Truth be told, that game is low-key fun.
It was infuriating for me because like the characters would not react to what you wanted to do, and it was so annoying. Because then they'll tumble over and just ragdoll.
I don't want to
the whole thing.
Fun about it though.
I know, but it's like
I don't want to say I don't want to say why, but I really want to play the game with Nekko now.
I remember for some reason I did a dive and I screamed "Great Jackrass" with Junie, and he kept fucking with me afterwards. I don't know. Don't ask me what the fuck it was. I just added Monster Hunter in it.
Question: like the thing is though, where is exactly Fall Guys? Is Fall Guys on Steam or is it on?
I had it on PlayStation.
On the Epic Games launcher.
It's on both.
Is it really? Because I wasn't able to find it.
I have it on Steam.
You have it on Steam?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Maybe it moved to just Epic Games Store. I don't know. But isn't
interesting.
Isn't it
maybe
free
you
on
open it and then it goes to Epic.
I mean, it's supposed to be free. Okay, I found it. I found it on the Epic Games launcher.
Okay.
I'll download it there.
I'm ashamed to admit I have it on like every console except for Xbox.
I tried
Wait, Switch has it too?
The Switch has it too. I tried it. It actually runs pretty well because the game focuses its frame rate on you. Like all the other players on your end, on your side of the game, they play at like 15 frames at most.
Everything 5 meters away just fucking disappears.
It's funny, dude. Like they'll be like they'll just be like.
That's funny.
Like, I don't know. I thought it was. I think it's a good game. I probably would want to play more of it. Heck, I might even play it on like when I actually start streaming, whenever that may be.
Eventually too, I do want to do like board game gameplays and board game reviews, kind of like recommending
we have to
people.
figure out how to do that.
Yeah. I mean, we still got the GoPro, so we could just like boop one on the top, and then just have like 2 cameras once we pay off the other one that we got right now.
Yeah, true.
But it would be fun to have that where we're just playing. For example, the Monster Hunter board game that you have, or you will have, that would be a cool one to play. And whatnot. I mean, I would love to play Gloomhaven again. Gloomhaven was fun. Granted, we played 3 sessions? 2 sessions?
Remember that Gloomhaven is now digital on Steam.
Yeah, so it is tabletop.
That is also not even tabletop. Like there's an actual digital Gloomhaven now.
I played the game that is like you move the character inside and they do, but like it actually has animations and everything. I don't know if that's the one that you're talking about. It's but low-key, I like having the cards and whatever.
Yeah, no, like my friend Andy, he says that playing this digital version, this like Steam version, is the most optimal way to play Gloomhaven. Just because like it just trivializes like board setup and everything. You kind of just have to not even worry about that.
Does it work just like a regular tabletop?
Yeah, it works. It works like the game, like the board game version of it. It's just that.
You don't have to set it up.
You're not having to do anything. The story kind of like narrates the scenarios and stuff like that. We should definitely consider. If you want to play Gloomhaven, because like it has the game, so it's like $35 to get the game right now, and then the DLC is the Jaws of the Lion, which is
the one that we were playing.
Started.
Yeah,
so we could essentially like buy the entirety of it and then just start our campaign again digitally, and then we'd be able to continue it anytime because it'd be online.
Yeah.
So it does look like that they took Fall Guys off Steam. I mean, it's still in my library, but like I searched it up and it's not there anymore.
Can you like actually open it up and like?
Yeah, I just updated it.
That's so weird.
Cool.
Jake starts the game and he's just a lobby with himself.
Good to
fucking
know.
running. That's funny. But what else? So like eventually basically what I was trying to go with all this is just like the channel will the channel be impacted by this whole demonetization of reactions? Yes, but in the long run, hopefully not, because we got so many more ideas that we want to play through. It's just a matter of us having the time and because right now we all work full time and part time on another job, and then coming over here to start working on videos. Like fucking Jake, who kills himself making 17 videos a week, plus working like 20 hours a week as well. So like that's why like I eventually, if we can make this the full-time job, right, I would love.
That's one of the low-key things that I'm kind of scared of. Just the fact that if I like, because I'm getting somewhat close to the deadline that I set myself for streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And the closer it's getting, the more kind of like
dreadful,
unsure I am.
Mm.
Just because like there's just so many things to consider, like because you have to learn how to use OBS. You also have to set up your profile to how you like it, and then you also have to figure out what platforms you're going to use to get exposure out of.
Yeah, if it's just YouTube, Twitch, or
a whole bunch of shit, dude.
Or Mixer.
Yeah, and Mixer. Everybody has their own strategies, right?
um, yeah, I have to say, whenever I started streaming with Junie for the first time with the what was the game? Temtem. It was a mess. It was a mess. Like my whole layout was really bland. I mean, it's still bland, but it's at least it has music now. It has some background that moves. But even then, it's just like extremely bare. So, but it was kind of scary whenever I started. It's like so bad that I don't know. Like it makes it look like nobody wants to just sit down and watch it because it just doesn't look good. So I get the fear.
I mean, like. Ultimately, it's kind of like how you present yourself, right? If your content is entertaining, I don't think a lot of people are going to care.
Yeah.
But consistency will be the key in this when it comes to these type of things. Like I want to do it because that gives me like a good motivation, or you could even say it's an excuse to actually play some of these games that I've been having. On my shelf and on this backlog that I've never touched.
The 366 games that you have that you've never touched in your Steam library.
Yeah, and like the thing is that not every game is like a streaming game, so you have to some of them might just end up being a little bit too boring, but that's a whole lot of trial and error for that part.
Yeah, no, I completely get it. And then eventually, like, for people like, let's say, Asmongold, where they end up having the stream and also the vlogs or whatever they're uploading or whatnot, or the highlight version, that's a lot of work.
Which begs the question, like, Jake, you had a pretty good, successful time when you were streaming.
Yeah, I'd say for, like, beginning out, it was pretty good. Like, I think a lot of it was due to, well, I mean, first of all, it was due to, having a bit of a community accumulated before streaming, to say the least. But I really, I actually put quite a bit of work into, the presentation of the stream. Not necessarily, how it looked, but, whenever I would get a follower, it, an alert would play that would be from one of the Final Fantasy games. And it was completely randomized. When somebody gifted or donated or whatever, it would be like a Link opening up the chest, and then he'd hold up the amount of money that it was. So I put a lot of work into incorporating stuff that I like, and so people would kind of know the vibes. I remember I was doing my 24-hour stream, and some guy named Lock Cole, I think was his username, came into the stream, and I can't remember, he subscribed, and I told him that my 100 bits alert was Kefka, Kefka's laugh. And it's just stuff like that, it kind of gives you an identity. You can make your alerts your identity, where a lot of people I'll watch their stream and
it's the basic zombie running.
Yeah, it's just the zombie running, or it's the little bling noise or whatever. Maximilian Dude has some of the best alerts on Twitch, I think, where if somebody donates 777s, it plays the Final Fantasy theme. I actually did that where nobody ever donated $7.77, but I actually had a game within my donations where if you donated $7.77, it would play an alert from either Cloud, Tifa, Barrett, Aerith, or Sephiroth. And in your donation message, if you guessed which character you got a free sub from me. And so it's cool. It's stuff like that I really like doing. And I would have it
actually pretty cool.
Yeah, hidden gems like that only people that will be really huge fans, they will test it out and see if there's anything for it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So do stuff like that. And I mean the biggest thing, and it's something that I still haven't gotten over, I guess, with streaming is the whole viewership thing. And that's something everyone has to deal with. And if you're not worried about it, then it's never going to be a problem. But for me, it was I was always so self-conscious about it because I never had a stream where nobody showed up, zero viewers. Yeah. But there would definitely be some streams for the first hour I had 2 people. And then granted later it'd be 15 after 3 hours, but you really have to grind through the slow hours.
Yeah.
And especially during the 24-hour streams, some of those would start and I would have like 6 viewers for the first few hours, and then at like 5 a.m. I have like 20 viewers, and it's like, what the fuck is going on right now, dude? It's 5 a.m. There's like a dude from Japan teaching me how to play Tetris and shit like that. Like,
damn,
no, yeah, no, and it gets really fun. Like the more you do it, but you just have to like. It's a grind.
Suck it up on the yeah.
The thing about Twitch is that it's not YouTube. If you're not online, you're not gaining a following at all. Yeah, and on YouTube, you know, we are gaining a following when we're not recording. That's the shitty part. Recording is the easy part of YouTube. The hard part of Twitch is having to be online all the time. So
yeah, that's true.
And having also your hype man or your mod also helps a lot, because I mean Borja did a great job at keeping people entertained in your chat. Like
95% of people don't even start out with a mod, and that for me was like he basically carried the channel on his back. So like, yeah, I can say that like, and I don't want to say that streaming was successful for me because I want to get back to it, but like it was successful at the time because of not because of me, I'll say. So, and that's it's a really tough part.
Interesting.
Yeah. I remember whenever I was doing it, and like I mean like whenever I reached like 10 people viewing, it's like, oh fuck yeah, 10 people, that's fucking amazing. Although that again, it's a small ass number, right? So, but like you said, for the most part, I only got like 1 or 2 people, and those 1 or 2 people, I know exactly who they are, and it's like either a family member or another friend that they're just like, you know what, let me just put it as background noise, right? Mm-hmm. So whenever it starts getting to the point that you know for a fact that it's no longer somebody that's close to you, it's like, oh shit, this feels good, you know?
It gets weird, dude. And that's the thing though, is that your mood will change depending on how many viewers you'll have. You'll get like 6 and you'll be like, oh my god, this is great. And then you'll get 10 and you're like, this is amazing. And then you'll see that number go from 10 to 4 and you're like, oh, I don't really want to do this anymore. But the thing is that you could say, I don't want to do this anymore. Stop streaming. Or you can keep streaming, and then 30 minutes later, somebody will raid you with 15 viewers, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you really just have... Like, if you're not streaming because you enjoy it, like, you're probably gonna just stop streaming. And I don't want to say that's why I stopped streaming. We started reacting to Attack on Titan, and then that's when I started editing, like, multiple videos a week.
Yeah.
And my hours for streaming just, like, tanked. But I never was super in love with it. I always just liked it, you know? And I do like it, and I do want to get back to it. But, like, there are some people that just love that shit. And I like YouTube better.
I feel like the best way to tackle Twitch is doing it because you want to play a game, period. Mm-hmm. Like, there's people that are for the chat, and I do give those people props, because being able to play a game and also pay attention to your chat is really, really difficult.
You have to have ADHD. Which,
like, if I like I will be playing the game, and then like a couple of minutes pass by, it's like a couple of people wrote something, how holy shit, or somebody did a follow or whatever, you know, and then, or a donation. It's like, holy shit. Like, I feel bad because there were a couple of people from our actual Patreon that they were sending decent amount of money. I say decent as like $5 or whatever, and I never heard the notification, never saw anything until the next day, and I would like go back into the picture immediately. Oh, bro, like, I didn't see it, thank you, blah blah. I totally appreciate it. And they're like, I didn't even do it for the thanks, it's just like, you deserve it, blah blah. I'm like, you know, so like, but I was doing it because I really wanted to play Pokemon, right? Or I really wanted to play this game, and I would not play it outside of streaming, which then obligated me to go back into streaming so I could finish the goddamn game. So that's the way that I tackled it. And I don't know if it's the best way, but at least I was enjoying the streaming.
That's good
to a degree.
That's a really good way to do it, because I mean, you know, my joke was like, I love
Elden Ring. Okay, no, go ahead.
No, it was like, my favorite thing in the world is streaming my favorite video games, ending stream, and continuing to play my favorite video games.
Yeah.
Because streaming your favorite games and then just playing them by yourself, it's like 2 completely different things. And you can really feel it. Like, there are some times where I would just... Like, I was playing a game I love, like Breath of the Wild, and I'm just not into the game because I'm so worried about, like, what's going on in the chat, or, like, is my hair weird, or is...
You're hosting. You're trying to host these people. It's like whenever you have a party in your houses, you cannot actually truly fully enjoy it because it's like, oh,
that's a good way to put it. Like you cannot fully enjoy the party because you're the host.
Yeah, you're like making sure that there's not a mess, making sure that everybody got the snacks going, like everybody hungry.
But the thing is that you're putting on the party so that everyone can come together, and that's something that I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. But like I had one of my viewers message me, and he was like, "Yo, are you gonna stream this weekend?" And I was like, "Yeah, maybe." I'm like, "Who the fuck wants to watch me though? Like, isn't it boring for you guys?" And he's like, "Jake, I'm going to be honest, it's not really about you. It's about the community aspect of it." And I was like, damn, like, that's kind of cool, though, Like, it's a small little, like, thing where, like, 8 to 10 people get together and we just talk shit and, and I play video games.
Yeah. And you're right. Like, the comments said, like, the whole chat will go off and talk to each other and just completely ignore your gameplay for a while.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to do it, and hence why I'm mad at y'all for not talking in the Discord, motherfuckers. Patrons, hurry up and start talking on the Discord, because not you two, like the patrons, like everybody else.
I was about to say,
we do need to talk in the Discord more, but
we definitely do.
Part of the problem is that we're also not being too active on it too. Like,
you're right.
We aren't necessarily hosting the party that well, It's,
yeah, you're right.
You just kind of like let the door open. It's like, hey, bro, like just come in.
My problem is that my type of chatting with people anywhere is just memes. So like, I post a meme, get a reaction, whatever. Oh, cool. We talk. Okay, cool. I mean, like, conversation over. So that's my biggest problem. Is just like I can try hosting the conversation, right? But then after a while, I gotta do something else or whatnot. So that's but hopefully, I do want to build the Discord to the point where everybody in the Patreon is just having fun and just talking with each other, obviously respectfully and everything. The last thing I want to do is kick somebody from it, right? So by all means, if you guys over there in Patreon want to just start posting dumb stuff, memes or whatever, by all means, just keep jumping into it because that's always fun to read and see. But yeah, no, like it kind of like I would say, do not be scared of streaming. Like, yes, your mood, you will have mood swings like a mofo, especially starting out. Because like kind of like Jake said, it's like who wants to see me? Like, who wants to watch me play a game? And then you just start thinking, do I need to talk more? Do I need to conversate more with this person? And so like that's the part of like you not actually enjoying your favorite game because you're more focused in the chat. And honestly, I do feel like you need to do so. But there's gonna be a point where the chat already does it for you. And then you just get to enjoy the game, but also jumping into the conversation and get killed in the game because you were talking to the chat, or which is honestly pretty cool.
That's a good way to put it. I think it's like, I think what I'm gonna end up doing is just picking game, like something that I've been wanting to play, or something that I think will be interesting to kind of like enjoy.
Yeah, I was like Wonderland,
I was like hinting, bro. I was like, I do want to play that game at some point, but it's only for the intent of, because I was like talking with Jake. I was doing it with the intent of wanting to, kind of like make a video about like,
like a review
game,
it,
like not necessarily, yeah, sort of like another review, but like it's like this game is known to be bad, like. What are some of the redeeming qualities of it? Like how can we make it better? And then just kind of like have like the first half of the video is just talking about the game in general, like all the things that were good about it, all the things that were not so good about it, and then like the second half is kind of like theory crafting and just kind of be like, hey, so what do you think we can do? Like if we were to give Balan Wonderworld a second chance, how can we make it better? And how can we actually make it good?
Yeah.
Like I think to myself, like that would be really like a really interesting like video idea, and then like and then you could just jump into fucking any other game. Like I know that Jake is into particularly invested in the world of Knack, so
good old Knack.
How can we make Knack better? For Jake.
You can't.
For Jake.
You can't.
You need more anime boobies.
It's already perfect.
Yeah, of course.
And Knack 2, they introduced Ice Knack. It doesn't get any better than this.
Wow.
I'm like, if I ever make a video on Knack, I'm gonna dedicate it to you, Jake.
I appreciate that.
You said that, and I just
This
imagined like the first picture in memory of, as if like Jake died or something.
Oh, I mean, like we could make it be like in memory of Jake's opinion of Knack, because I'm about to change that bitch today.
Oh god, that's funny.
No, but yeah, I think like one of the ideas that I thought that I think it would be cool to try out is like do a randomizer for Resident Evil 4.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that.
And just kind of like play it out, see how that goes. Because I feel like I don't know, like I've come to the conclusion that Resident Evil is probably my favorite game, like overall, just because like it just feels good to come back to.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how long it's been. It doesn't get boring. Like it's just fun.
I feel that about a few games, like when it's been like a year or two, and you just come back to it, and you're like, oh yeah, this is one of the
like,
best.
It's good to be back, you know, like
Yeah.
it's that type of shit. But like it's like
I'm too much of a bitch.
dude, like
to go to
I kinda-
Resident Evil.
no, dude, it's really good. Like I kind of caved because my brother Brian, like he invested on a Oculus, like the Quest 2.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so I got to try it out a little bit, and he put me the Resident Evil 4 VR. That is so fucking good.
Really?
It plays so fucking well. Like it is really, really good. Like it's Resident Evil 4, but you're like in it. And like it's you can make it play super immersively, because like I mean they're like the controls are mostly the same. Like it really just depends on your tolerance for VR.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll have literally your side weapon, like your handguns is gonna be on your side, and you kind of like have to like reach it like kind of like how you would as like if you had a real gun on your on a holster. Your ammo is on a section on your body. Your knife is on where like Leon would have his knife. You have your grenades on the other side. Your health items are over here, and so like it's like super immersive. And like I have it where like I can like I move around the character with the joystick. So and then kind of like I give myself tunnel vision as I'm moving so that I don't get as dizzy. And it's so good, dude. It's so good because like you're like I died like at least 3 to 4 times in the beginning village section, cause like the dude like the chainsaw guy like he's no joke in VR. It's so different.
Scary.
It's so different because like I'm like when I'm playing on the video game like itself, like I'll play it on Steam or I'll play it on whatever, and it's like I can take care of him. He's fine. You know, it's fine. No, but once you're in VR, baby, like it's so different.
Whenever he's coming for you,
dude.
Not for their character. He's coming for you. You know, it's like that.
Yeah. And so like you're like you have to fucking run, and then you go back, and then you have to like dude.
Fucking grenade. So cool. Where the fuck is the grenade?
Dude, and it gets so hectic too because like one of the things that you don't kind of like pay attention to is like when you're reloading, you just press a button. It's like an autopilot thing, right? But on VR, you have to actually press the button to like detach the clip, and then you have to get a clip from your belt, put it back, cock the gun, and get ready.
That
takes so much time when you're in a hectic situation when you have like a shit ton of ganado, and like the chainsaw guy literally like right behind you, Dr. Salvador, just ready to rip your head up.
Fucking fumbling with the fucking magazine,
bro, dude. I'm fucking serious. You have no like. There'll be moments where I'm just like, how many bullets do I have? And like the only way that you can check for your bullets is like on like Leon has a little wristwatch on his non-dominant hand, so like you have to like check and then fuck. Like it's so cool, dude. Like. And then like reloading the shotgun, you have to like manually reload it. So you like
no,
the shotgun, like you pull it from the back, and you can kind of like one hand the shotgun, but then you have to manually reload it. So you have to hold it, cock it, and then like, Dude, it's super cool. It's super cool. Like,
I mean, I'll probably shit my pants, but it was pretty cool.
When I said I caved, I meant it. I have the Oculus in the back of the room. I was playing that bitch. It's so good. Next time, you guys definitely have to give it a try, even if it's just for a little bit. Like,
that sounds fun.
It's fucking good, dude. I was not expecting it to be as fun as it was.
Yeah, I liked. Go ahead.
No, I was saying the next one that I'm gonna probably have to try out is Skyrim.
Skyrim
I don't know if Skyrim is on the Oculus Quest too.
Okay,
it should be.
I've played Skyrim on the PlayStation VR, and I think the toggles will completely change the game because I kind of had to do the teleport gameplay with the PlayStation VR thingies.
Yeah.
And that's sort of why, like, I always liked VR, but I never could like fall in love with it just because it's all so clunky. There's so many wires, the headset's all big and clunky, and a lot of the games are just like teleport gameplay, like Doom VR. I was really excited to play that, and it was just that. But the Batman one was actually really fucking good. It was like Batman Arkham Asylum VR, I think, or something like that. And it was kind of the same as what you were talking about with Resident Evil, where like you had to reach down to get your grapple hook and shoot it up, and stuff like that was just really cool. But I think I got to get around to selling my VR set so I can get the second one. Yeah, the PlayStation 2 VR or whatever, so I can play Resident Evil 8. Because I would say the best VR game that I've played is RE7. Because I still haven't played 4, so 7 was the only one that was like a full game, and I was like, holy shit, this is actually worth the money I put out to get VR.
I mean, and it fits because, again, of the first person already implemented in the game. So it definitely helps. Mikey, have you been curious about Half-Life, Alex?
Yes.
Because I know it is a VR.
Is it on the Oculus though?
I'm not sure. It may be, might not be.
Because I know that it was. I know that it's on Steam, but you have to like have the whole fucking setup thing.
Yeah, the Valve Index, which costs like $1,000 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, but it scans your room. Yeah.
Damn.
And so it like kind of creates the level according to like your room. So it's like the most in-depth VR that has been made yet.
I personally, my biggest fear with VR, it's like because you just said it scans your room, right? So your surroundings. My biggest fear is me throwing a punch to the wrong section and destroying my TV, or like tripping over something and falling on, I don't know, on like the bookcase that you got behind you, So like, I just, that's my only fear with VR, and obviously like the clunkiness of it is something that turns me off.
The Quest 2 does a thing that's interesting because it kind of like does like a little stationary thing where like you have this little circle to stand on,
and it will alert you if you're walking away too much.
Like the Oculus Quest 2 has like two different functions where like it has like a room side, like a room wide like area that you can play in. And then you have the stationary one. The stationary is for when you don't have a lot of room. But like just make sure that you're not close to any walls or anything like that. Otherwise, you might. The controllers tend to be a little bit on the fragile side. Like if you smack them real hard enough against something, they will break. And then like the accelerometers and like everything that makes the controllers function would fuck up.
Go out of whack. Yeah. Man, like I just want VR to get to the point that like it's basically just not necessarily a mirror copy of whatever we're seeing or whatever, but like that it plays just like an actual full blown console that people are like they're debating between Xbox, PlayStation, or VR. You know what I'm saying? Like I want it to get to that point.
I need it to be at Ready Player One levels, or we're just in an alternate reality.
I mean, they sell the vest already where you feel everything impact. So if you're playing a shooter, you actually feel the impact of a shot.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for that just yet, but I don't know. We'll see. Like it's still too. We're still kind of there. Like I would say, like right now we're in the dot hack era of VR,
where you were playing with a controller, but like the headset.
Yeah, I mean, technically yes. That's how, like where we're at right now. So give it a couple of years and we might just enter the the Sword Art Online era of VR, where we are fucking lying comatose in our beds, playing an online video game.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Kind of like the movie Surrogate. That movie was good too. I don't know if you ever watched that one, Surrogate, where they like lay down on their beds and they got like actual full body avatars. Bruce Willis was in it, and they just walk outside and do their daily business in these robots, but it's just them and their beds just dead.
At what point can we say we've been isekai'd? You know,
when we get locked inside a game and we can't get out because the logout function is no longer there.
I'll be honest.
We're essentially having to stay inside the game. I would say that's a good isekai point right there.
It's like Jumanji or Greed Island from Hunter x Hunter. Yeah. All right. I can agree with that.
Dude, like, it's funny because, like, I always joke around with that idea of, like, oh, you know, like, get stuck in a game. And, I mean, granted, kind of like Sword Art Online where if you die in the game, you die in real life, right? But I'll be honest, and I keep saying it, it's like, if I got stuck in a game like that and I end up dying to a level 1 tutorial bore, I think I will still die happy that I played a game like that. You know, instead of being stuck in this BS.
Like, here's the thing, though. If you die to a level 1 enemy, you probably shouldn't have been playing that game in the first place. Like, Nekko, you've had enough Final Fantasy XIV experience to be able to know how to play a fucking game, you know?
But what if I'm fumbling to grab my spear exactly the same way that I should be, kind of like you fumbling the fucking magazine on the gun.
Dude, like, you fumble a couple times and like because of you don't have the knowledge, but once you get into it, like, it gets very, very...
How many times does a level 1 boar have to hit you before you're dead? Do you just fumble that spear for like an hour?
I said,
me and Mike are just one day he's gonna get the spear. He's eventually gonna get the spear. All right,
I'm like trying to fucking grab it from the floor. I just keep missing it.
Jake, Nekko's at 10%. Should we do something about it? Because otherwise he's gonna die.
He's never gonna learn. He's never gonna learn if we help him.
I said spear, and I imagine like playing Monster Hunter in a game like that will be fucking sick. Like in a full immersive VR, where like because I said the whole fumbling with the magazine, but then I thought, dude, that fucking bow gun will be fucking sick to play, because then you're like loading the arrows, loading the shells, and everything will be fucking cool. Dude. Or like the gun lance.
Dude, like if you were in a situation, like if you were in a Sword Art Online, you know, Lock Horizon type of situation, where you are stuck inside the game, what would you say your weapon of choice would be?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It's weird because I always go back to the idea that I really want to have a bow staff, kind of like what Sun has in Ruby.
Okay.
Like I always said a bow staff because I know that I suck at CQC. Like if I try to throw a punch, it'll probably be like gelatin, you know. So I always thought to myself that like a distance weapon will be.
Here's the thing, though. Because of the way that Sword Art Online functions, it basically replicates it as if you were actually holding the weapon in real life, which means that, sure, I mean, like, you'd be fumbling around and shit like that, but eventually you're gonna get good at it because you're getting in-game practice and experience, but you're also getting real life muscle memory. So you'll be able to like by the end of going through the entirety of Sword Art Online, like you come back to the real world and you pick up whatever weapon you started with, you probably be really good at it.
Unless you grabbed an insect glaive, because let's be honest, you're not gonna be able to fly with it.
Bro, real life. I don't fucking know. You might be able to like at least
launch yourself from the far in real life.
You might be able to at least launch yourself. It might not be, you might not fly too far, but I mean, fucking jet, like what is it, like pole vaulters probably already do that shit, you know?
True.
Who's to say that you can't do it with a little practice of an insect glaive or some shit like that?
I don't know. What will be your weapon, Jake?
I feel like the obvious choice is a lightsaber, just because it can cut through anything. So there you go. But if we're talking just video games,
like let's kind of like hone in on it. Like say that we get in on a fantasy game, like Final Fantasy, Elder Scrolls type shit.
Okay, so like fantasy. Well, I guess technically
like
Star Wars is
medieval fantasy.
Okay.
Type weaponry. Like yes, like a lightsaber. I mean, I guess a lightsaber would be something close to.
Like a flaming sword?
No, like it would be something really light. I was thinking a rapier because it's light enough, but it does apply because Count Dooku kind of goes.
He's kind of like a fencer,
like a fencer style fighting.
I would say probably like a swashbuckler. More, it's lighter swords. But they're kind of curved. That way you don't have to do the pokey. Because I don't see Jake ever pokey anybody. You know what I'm saying? I can see him slashing, but not like a rapier would not be his weapon of choice whatsoever.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay, so what would be the weapon of choice, Jake?
I really like the Buster Sword. I'm cliche.
So you would probably go for great swords?
Dragon Slayer.
Big dick swords?
Broadsword. The Buster Swords. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do be liking the giant swords.
Dang.
I mean, they look fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie.
I would agree with you there, but me having to wield a great sword now, I don't know. It's just one of those where
it's the Zelda sword that we can barely carry it.
You're kind of just lugging around it,
the best
that'd be cool though, because that way your skill with the actual weapon would be tied to your proficiency, right? It would in the game would be kind of like a proficiency rating. So if you get a proficiency of S, that means that you'll be able to wield an actual greatsword with relative ease in real life, because your body would be used to the weight.
That'd be insane.
Because I'm pretty sure that's how it that's how it's all calculated. If you want it to be realistic, it would have to be heavy as fuck too.
What about you though, Mike?
I'm honestly trying to think as well in that type of medieval style.
Granted, medieval fantasy.
Yeah. Final Fantasy.
I think I would probably go Great Axe, maybe.
I knew you were good.
So
yeah,
I'd probably be on the same fence as you. But I don't know. I could go for a halberd as well. Trying to go for the long swings.
Okay.
But I don't know.
So basically a dragoon. Yeah.
Yeah, the dragon would be kind of dope. Yeah, I know that. Jay currently has the title of dragon in our friend group right now.
Pusai destroy. Yeah.
Through Pusai, but whenever he decides to drop it, I might just pick it back up. You know what? Bow could probably be a good fun one.
Bow? Bow and arrow?
I don't know. When it comes to actually shooting things, my accuracy is pretty shit. But
hey, that increases with the game, and then have the.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, if I were to practice that in virtual reality and then come back to it in real life, that would probably be the weapon that my frail ass body that has been years in comatose would probably be able to pick it back up with relative ease. I don't know about Jake. Jake's trying to pick. Jake would have to really, really hit the gym real hard to get back to be able to swing a big ass greatsword. But hey, fuck it,
But see, and if I were to go back to the same style of weaponry, I know for a fact that I'm relatively reckless in a lot of aspects, so hence why I go back to the gunlance in Monster Hunter, because I feel like I definitely need some sword shield, because I'm not gonna be able to move out of the way fast enough. So any kind of weapon, including a shield, that'll probably be one of the things that I will go for. If
you
not,
you could go for a spear and a tower shield, just super tanky.
I would either go with that, or I will probably be, like I mentioned earlier, swashbuckler, which again will be just dual wielding swords. But that makes me highly evasive. That will be the tactic that I will go for. But outside of that, I just don't like. I I'm not a huge on great swords. I'm not huge on great axes. They look great, but like my mobility is trash. That's my biggest complaint of Gunlance is the mobility is trash. So, but again, I get to block anything and everything. And since in Ruby the DLC does have the great shield that I was thinking about, or like towering shield, hence why I go back to it. But I mean that character has a tonfa as well, so it's like doesn't make sense to have a shield and a bladed tonfa, you know.
I'm trying to remember. Does Sword Art Online did it ever even have magic? I thought it was story-wise.
No,
it was like a fairly
it's skills.
realistic. It was all like realistic
Skills.
like weapon skills, but never really like there was no magic in the game, right?
The weapons could have magical attributes, but they.
Well, I mean,
did
yeah,
nothing
but not
else.
necessarily. But not necessarily like they wouldn't
Fire.
really cast magic or healing or anything like that. Like,
That came across in the second game, which was Alfheim. They were
yeah.
fairies, and they were it was mainly magic casters that would reign the game.
Okay. So now, big question: if the game like leans more towards the fantasy side, does that sway your opinion?
Fantasy, what do
Like,
what?
like we're talking about like Final Fantasy
Magic
you have
and
your,
whatnot.
you have your type of magic, your healings, like I don't know, your being a bard actually, like you'll be able to like rouse morale with your songs type shit, like
Sway our opinion on what though?
like
Your weapon
on your
choice.
weapon choice. Like if it was all VR, okay, let's put it this way. If the VR game that we were suddenly stuck in was actually Final Fantasy 14, like would it actually sway? Like, would you still stay with your choice of like big sword or
Which will be like the Dark Knight.
See, the thing is, if I'm in a game like that, I can just be Guts. I can just be Cloud, I can just be. I can be the anime character with the giant sword.
Yeah, you can.
So I don't even need to build the strength because I would have it.
I mean, true. I
So
guess.
I would say like my answer is even more confirmed at that point because like in real life, obviously I'm not wielding that. But didn't somebody
Because Thor's hammer.
yeah, didn't somebody make like a Buster Sword and it ended up being like 150 pounds or something, or 50 pounds at least, something like that?
I mean, if you wanted to make it realistically, yes.
I mean, yeah, that's I hope so.
Pure steel and everything, because I'm pretty sure that if Meryl can like, once Meryl like really starts honing in on her whole cosplaying and prop making thing, I'm pretty sure that she'd be able to make you a super light Buster Sword that you'd be able to wield it with ease.
Definitely, yeah. If it's made out of the foam, she would be super light.
That was like something that Meryl and I were kind of like talking about. Like it'd be cool like if we did like group cosplays.
I would love to do like actual cosplay like that you build. That would be fucking cool.
Because Meryl was thinking that it'd be kind of cool if
we did the characters from Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 14. But then we also like jumped on other things like like if we were to tackle Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy 7, like
that'd be cool.
Like I thought, like I already knew that Jake was probably gonna want to be Cloud anyways. So
no way, I'm Barrett. You already know. No,
how the fuck are you Barrett?
No, Nekko's definitely Barrett. We all know why. We all know.
No, dude. Like Nekko's low key a furry. He'd probably be either Red 13 or
Kate Sith. Kate Sith. No, he has to be Red 13 because he's Nekko.
No, you know what? Fuck it.
Wait, they're both cats.
No, Nekko has to be like Kate Sith, but not actually
Yes.
Kate Sith. He'd be Reeve.
Okay.
He'd be Reeve, and then we can make him a prop where it's actually Kate Sith.
Okay.
Because he's technically. Oh, spoiler alert! Reeve actually controls Kate Sith.
We can put like Kate Sith on Nekko's shoulder.
Yes. All right. I like that.
Oh, okay. Like y'all saying all these names, and I'm like, who the fuck? Okay, that got him. That's fine.
I mean,
Reeve looks very like you could pull off a Reeve.
Yeah, you definitely could. I feel like I have Zack hair going, but I feel like your favorite character in that universe is Zack, is it not?
I mean, when we were talking, remember and I were talking about like cosplay ideas, like we lean more towards Zack and Aerith. And so like she'd be Aerith, and then I'd be Zack, and then Alternatively, if we were to do a whole group cosplay, then you, Jake, would be Cloud, and then Lee could be Tifa.
Nah, she's got to be Yuffie. She's a Yuffie.
I can see that.
She is a fucking
icon idol.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'll try it.
I tried Lemao. Dude, a cool one to do would be Vincent. Fucking looks fucking sick.
Oh yeah, Nekko could pull off a Vincent.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. You'd have to shave again, but.
Yeah. No, well, not necessarily, because fucking Vincent is covering half his face with his scarf, anyways.
I just need to put the thing right here.
So you just have Nekko just really needs to have the big red scarf just cover half his face, and he'd be able to pull it off.
The fucking metal arm and everything. That's fucking cool. Damn, that's a giant fucking blaster.
Yeah, no.
Wait,
we were
it also depends which one it is, because there's a couple of different iterations of Vincent too.
No, the Vincent would be the classic one with his gold, with his gold arm.
Yeah.
Gold Dracula looking thing, because his theme is vampire.
Because the other one that I remember of, but this one I saw it in Kingdom Hearts, which was the.
Oh yeah, I was just about to jump into that. So Marilyn.
What's his name again?
Oren.
Oren from 10, right?
Yes, that's another thing. If Meryl, we were also thinking that she could be Yuna and I could be Tidus.
Little titties.
Yep. I don't know. After watching Pro Jared's video on Final Fantasy X, as much as I want to say Tidus, I don't know. To me, it just sounds more funny if I say Tidus.
Yeah.
That. If that's his name canonically, then that's what I'm gonna stick with. I'll just be fucking memeing on the fact that we do get to see a lot of ass and Tidus on Final Fantasy X.
Oh god.
I don't know. I don't know if I could do a 10 cosplay. I don't know if I could be a Waka.
No, dude. Nekko could do a good Waka.
Okay.
Waka?
Okay.
Isn't that the guy with the?
It's either that or Kimari, because Nekko do be being a low key a fairy too. So probably be.
It's the third time you've called him out on that.
Yeah.
Hey, bro. I mean, he has.
It is what it is.
He has a big obsession with cats. Just saying.
He has to be the cat character in every single one.
His name is Cat.
Literally Cat.
With just an extra K in it, so.
True. What up? 10? I don't know about that. I'm down for 7.
We could do 8.
8.
Do we have interesting characters in 8?
We have Squall and Renoa.
Squall and Renoa.
That's about
What
it.
is it?
6 has.
Oh, no, that's not true. I thought. I think Cyphers are really cool.
He's all right. I think
And
6
then,
has the biggest variety of characters besides 7.
The thing is that it's all pixelated, so it would be really hard to realize them.
That's true.
I mean,
there are actual
concept arts.
Concept
art.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
And you have Dissidia.
Yeah, but only Terra.
I feel like
up in that one.
And Locke.
I feel like that's the only one that
and I think Kefka as well. Kefka,
Locke doesn't show up in Dissidia, does
Pretty sure, yeah. I can find the character model from it. He's a DLC though. But you have others, and yeah, you have a ton of concept art because we could totally do Locke. There's Sabin and Edgar, which are brothers. They're the 2 King brothers, and then you have who else? Not Strizo. It might be Strizo. I can't remember his name, but he's the gambling guy with the ship. And then Meryl could do Celeste or Terra or whatever. There's 14 playable characters in that one.
Okay.
So yeah.
That'd be cool.
We got to figure it out. I mean, it's a lot of work though doing cosplays like that.
Yeah,
dude. But it's so satisfying. Marilyn and I keep watching these cosplayers. They have a bunch of tutorials on YouTube, and we're just damn, that'd be so fucking cool. I know for a fact. I know for a fact. Okay. So he does actually show up.
I know it's kind of bright, but
I know for a fact that we have to do our Final Fantasy 14 characters at one point.
Definitely.
I do really want to do my original character though, because I really like how it looked. So I will probably go with the monk version of it, or if not, I mean, I could try to do it on the red mage.
You don't have to stick to what they were. If I'm gonna do my character, I would do my I would do my character as a warrior, not necessarily what I'm currently playing now. Oh, I like the the armor set for level 50 for warrior, like the one that shows in the cinematic.
Yeah,
like that just looks really good, and that's probably the one that I would kind of go with. But
all right, fellas, a final question.
okay.
tortillas.
Recommend one isekai to our audience. Go.
Jeez.
I just want to throw out Do You Love Your Mother and her 2-hit multi-target attacks. That's my recommendation for today.
Okay. Geez, dude, I don't know. Like,
I have so many.
I haven't seen that many isekais, or I haven't recognized many animes as isekai. Like, let me see.
I got top of my head, I have like 6. So it's like, you got me there. It really depends on what Mike suggests.
Shit! You know what? I would definitely be down to being a no game, no life.
That's one of the things that I was
isekai.
thinking.
Like,
No game, no life.
bro. That's where the gamers rule. You know. Like any game, and then you be an instant winner. I'd be able to control continents with my gamer skill. You know.
Hey, but you gotta beat the fairy character, unfortunately, which is pretty tough.
Bro. Like, here's the thing. Like, the only reason they lost is because they're not gamers. Like, they don't consider themselves gamers, right? Because like in that world, like it's just like playing games is just a form of negotiation. It's like you know, it's just a form of deliberating or you know, form of negotiating any type of transaction with the other person, right?
Instead of killing or whatever, that's the way that they do the transactions.
But Blank, the only reason he won is because he's a massive gamer. He knows how to play every fucking game. So any game that, or rather, he has that gamer skill that we'd be able to like learn a game with like before the game is even over, and we'd be able to win. You know?
Yeah.
So that's my pick. No game, no life.
My pick, I'm debating a bit between a lot, but I do think it falls on Log Horizon. Log Horizon is a decent one. I think Jake hasn't being able to watch it. It's technically just Sword Art Online, but more political.
But better.
Technically, yeah, because like in the game, like it's not like they had any VRs or anything like that. Like it's like the new expansion for Final Fantasy 14 comes out, and when we install it and enter the game, we suddenly are inside the game and we are our own characters.
Yeah.
And the game still functions pretty much the same. The only difference is that
just stuck.
Some mechanics are kind of like reinvented for the real life aspect, because like
the UI is different.
They technically had to eat to survive anyway, so like the cooking skill became important, and
you couldn't cook flavorful food if you weren't an actual cook, but that's only a subclass, and not everybody has a subclass, because you select your character at the beginning, and you gotta actually switch the whole character if you want to be the cooking.
It's not like Sword Art Online, where like, yes, the cooking skill was important, but it was only to trick your brain into thinking that they were having sustenance. Like
they would just grab the knife and cheat. Everything was diced up. And everything.
I think that's how it worked, because like most of like those players like got like they were on the hospital and they were like getting drip fed like nutrients and shit to keep their body alive, but like their brain needed to think that they were eating as well. So that's how they kind of like went by.
Sustain.
But in Log Horizon, you had to. You have to rely with the cooking.
Because in all due reality, like, they don't ever show the real world whatsoever, so they you don't know what's your body doing and whatnot. And that was the great thing about the show, is that like the whole complex thing is that if you die in the game, nothing happens. You're back in the game again.
That's
like,
not true.
Yeah,
stuff happened later. Stuff happened later. But yeah, in the game, if you die, you respawn.
But yeah, like your death is not your death.
Yeah, like you just respawn. So like the respawn mechanic is still there.
You cannot escape.
The only other interesting thing is that NPCs were actual people.
Yeah,
like they were actual people.
Really?
Like they had actual conversations, and they felt feelings, and and players would be mean to them, and they would, there was a point I think they were started to revolt against the players and shit like that too, and it became a massive conflict. And
that's all in just season 1, so it's pretty good. Well, another thing that I like that they introduced in season 2 was the idea that a lot of characters, like, let's say in my case in Final Fantasy, that I play a female character. As the game progressed, that I'm using this female character, all my actions and everything just become more feminine, because in my brain I am a female. So I like, you will start losing yourself to your character. And there was a particular character in the main group that was switched later on, because the first one they drank like a Fantasia potion to change back to their original gender. But then there was another one that kept going, and they just, it wasn't necessarily completely forgotten the fact that they were a particular gender, but like everything that they did was to whatever they were portraying at the moment.
Yeah, and it was cool as well because at least for the beginning part of the first season, the only way that the players would be able to actually like fight and activate their skills was through menu interactions. So like the combat was like clunky at first, until they actually started to figure out that
you have to feel it.
You had to role play your actions to actually do them. And so that's that. And then the meta basically developed into that. Mm-hmm. It's a really cool anime to watch.
Might have to check it out.
It portrays like what would you being stuck in a video game.
I definitely suggest it to anybody that's playing MMOs or is wanting to play MMOs or starting to play MMOs. It's a great anime to watch because it explains a lot of things that you don't think about whenever we were starting to play Final Fantasy for the first time. I was watching this show and I was the white mage, right? I didn't want to be a white mage, but I kind of got pushed into it for a little bit, and then I just ended up loving it because I started seeing it the same way that the people were watching it or seeing it in the game, and there were a lot of concepts explained in the anime. My bad, like in the anime they were explained, and I started thinking that way. And like I started seeing HP bars with percentages, rather like instead of like seeing, oh, your health is dropping, let me heal you up. No, it's like, let me see how much you're getting hit by. Like, it's the next attack gonna kill you? No. Fuck the healing attack, and it's like, okay, he can survive one more attack, so it gives me enough time to rotate and heal. So like, if you're somebody that's wanting or to jump into an MMO or already playing an MMO, this show just helps you understand more of the thought process behind it. It's pretty fucking good.
All right, I'll put that on my list. Did I ever tell you guys what mine was about? Because I know I brought it up like throughout the years that we've known each other.
I can visualize it in my head, but I don't necessarily remember what the story is about.
It's something about a kid with a mom started playing, and then the mom got really popular or something of the sorts.
Because she has
they
Big Rack or something like that.
So basically, like, for everyone to watch it, it's kind of a guilty pleasure, but
of course.
Basically, like, this kid and his mom have like not a great relationship, so they go to therapy, but the therapy is like they get transported into a game, and the only way they can get out is if they like bond to a certain level, and it kind of like halfway through turns into a harem because every character that they recruit in this game is like a super hot anime girl, but he's with his mom the entire time, and so it kind of turns into this weird like awkward harem. But also, yeah, kind of like Nekko said, the mom is way more powerful than the son is in the game, which kind of spins it on its head in a way, which I thought was funny. But yeah, not the best isekai, but definitely one that
it's a fun watch.
Yeah,
it's the best one for Jake, and that's all that matters.
Maybe.
Dude, I'm still salty that Log Horizon Season 3 came out and we didn't even freaking know about that. That caught me.
It was like a sleeper hit, bro. Like,
yeah. We gotta catch up.
Did not know about it at all.
But yeah, no. We're at 1:30 minutes on this bad boy. Any final thoughts in general that we have?
No, not really. I think at this point, whether YouTube
cancels us,
shuts down our shit, we know that we can always jump to Twitch and just talk shit and play games over there, and fantasize about being stuck in a video games. You know,
until we can't play games on Twitch anymore because of copyright.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I am truly grateful for like all our Patreons, honestly, because like if it so happens to be where we get demonetized entirely, then Patreon will be the way to go and the way that we actually be able to support ourselves to keep making the content. So for like right now, the 33 of y'all that are helping us out, like thank you. It's a major help, and like it's crazy to think that we got that many people supporting us. Like 33 in the grand scheme of things did not seem like a big number, but for me, just like I didn't even think we were gonna have 10 people paying us to keep creating things, and then also 6,000 people that we just hit at the beginning of this week just subscribe to us and watching our things. I honestly feel like that's a major milestone. I always fantasized by having a YouTube channel and whatever, but I never thought that it was actually gonna, hit. So the fact that it's there is fun. It's great. I don't want to cloud any of your thoughts. If y'all have to, by all means, jump in. Because if not, I can keep going.
No, I was just gonna say it's super important because if the worst thing does happen, Asmongold loses 10% of the money he makes, and we lose all of our YouTube money. Yeah. So
yeah, I don't think he cares too much about.
No, yeah. But we'll see. We do our best to make a video out of what we do and not just
copy paste.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's and I'm hoping that we are able to put more time and effort into the channel so we can create more original stuff rather than just copy pasting, right? I mean, there's a lot of edits that I think I've been having on these last few videos for the Ruby videos, which again is the only thing that it's my only catalog of video editing. That I feel like I actually put a lot more effort in and a lot of more things. I mean, and you probably can see the quality on them, and it's just because I actually somehow managed to find the time to put that much effort into it. Because if not, my job does not allow me to work on it too often. Yeah. So if I hope that we just keep on growing and we can actually keep quality rather than quantity. To y'all.
Agreed.
Alrighty, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed. We'll beat each other's with lightsabers later, I guess. I don't know. That sounds bad.
Love a sword fight.
But,
My bathroom, 5 minutes.
Alrighty, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next podcast.
Bye-bye.
Guys, like we said by the end of the video multiple times, thank you so much for giving your support over here by Patreon, also liking, commenting all the other videos over there. We do plan to make this more than just a reaction channel. I mean, here as a podcast, it's kind of like an indication that we definitely want to do more content for you guys. As of right now, we lack the time, but we do want to extend to more different avenues and more things that you guys get to enjoy more often. But like we said before, thank you so much and hope you continue to support us. See you in the next one.